Welcome back to episode 3 of our podcast, the Nonfiction Audiobook Review, NFAR for short. If you missed our intro, our episode 0 and episode 1, let me remind you that the deal we have here for you is this. We give out great nonfiction audiobooks currently published on audible.com for free, with the understanding that you will listen quickly to them, which helps the author, and maybe even, if you have a chance, write a review. So, on with the show. Our audiobook review is coming up in just a quick minute, but we have added a new facet to the podcast, and that's our NFAR Mini Spotlight. A quick highlight to make you aware of something coming onto the scene, such as a new audiobook. This episode, the spotlight is on Eliana Rivers for her newly released audiobook, The 5-Minute Psalms. And to be clear, Eliana didn't write the Psalms. She just wrote about them, and I had the privilege of narrating them. Now, this book is just a great idea. She has chosen short snippets from the Book of Psalms, each of them to help you slow down a second, contemplate and meditate, get some peace in your life, and all of that in less than 5 minutes. In fact, Eliana subtitles her book with bite-sized devotions for busy believers. I'll be doing a review on the book in a future episode, but you can pick it up today. I'll leave a link to my Audible page in the show notes. Now, let's move along to our main audiobook review. Today, we're going to dive right into the world of memoirs, personal stories, with our featured audiobook titled The Hard Way Home, written by Ryan Reading, with 100% guaranteed human narration by Coach Gary Micheloni. The book is approximately 2.2 hours long. The full title of the book is The Hard Way Home, A Life Built on Experience. And Ryan begins his book this way in chapter 1. The last time I saw my daughters. I didn't know it was the last time. If I had, I would have held them longer, said more, done everything differently. They were just girls. Dakota, 3 years old, trying so hard to understand what was happening. Aspen was still a baby, barely 1, resting quietly in the arms of a stranger. Today's feature is The Hard Way Home, written by Ryan Reading. It's a raw, deeply human memoir about pain, perseverance, and rebuilding of both a man and a family. And from the opening pages, Ryan makes it clear that this isn't a tale polished for comfort. It begins at rock bottom, a father kneeling on the cold floor after losing custody of his daughters, realizing too late that the moment he's living will define him forever. That emotional honesty sets the tone for the rest of the book. As the story unfolds, we travel with Ryan through a life shaped by violence, addiction, and general dysfunction, but also by grit, redemption, and the stubborn refusal to stay broken. He takes us from the chaos of his childhood home, where anger and silence were the only languages spoken, to his own battles with cocaine, jail time, and the painful unraveling of relationships. Yet, even in the hardest chapters, there's a steady heartbeat of faith and fight, a belief that the story isn't over, no matter how far it's fallen. One of the most powerful arcs in The Hard Way Home is Ryan's rediscovery of purpose. After time in jail strips him of everything, he finds clarity in faith, fatherhood, and hard work. His commitment to his son and the vow to break the generational cycle of pain becomes the book's emotional anchor. You feel the shift when he starts rebuilding houses and, symbolically, himself. Each nail, each wall, each new home becomes a piece of the foundation he never had growing up. Ryan's writing style is straightforward. It's stripped of pretense and brutally honest. There's no attempt to clean up the language of real life, and that's exactly what gives it power. The pacing feels like a conversation between old friends. It's part confession, part testimony. And when he describes the losses of friends, family, and finally his father, it's done with the perspective of someone who has learned to forgive without forgetting. By the final chapters, the reader feels the full transformation from chaos to calm, from addiction to accountability, from pain to peace. His company, Infinite Realty Solutions, isn't just a business, it's a metaphor for his rebuilt life. And when he closes the story with hope for his children's future, it feels fully earned. This isn't just a memoir about surviving trauma. It's about reclaiming identity, learning that love, communication, and faith can rebuild what violence and silence destroyed. It's a reminder that healing is slow, but it's possible, and that sometimes the hard way home is the only way that truly lasts. So if you're drawn to real-life stories of resilience, fatherhood, and forgiveness, this book will hit you right where you live. And if you've ever felt like your past defines you, Ryan Reading's story will show you it doesn't have to. So that's The Hard Way Home, a story of loss, learning, and the kind of redemption that doesn't come easy, but comes real. I'm Coach Gary, and this has been another nonfiction audiobook review. Thanks for listening. And speaking of listening, right now it's time for the free giveaway. I have a limited number of free promo codes for The Hard Way Home. Remember our cardinal rule. Only request a code if you can listen to this 2-hour-long book within the next 2 or 3 days. Your quick listen is the greatest thank you to the author, Ryan Reading. So here's how you get your free copy. You can claim your free code this way. Email us at reviewexchangegroup@gmail.com. reviewexchangegroup@gmail.com. And in the subject line, simply write something like The Hard Way Home Book. We will respond with a unique Audible promo code and a link to the redemption page. FYI, you must have an Audible account to redeem the code, but the account is free. And if you have an Amazon account, and who doesn't have an Amazon account these days? It's very simple to do that. It's simple even if you don't have an Amazon account. If you miss out on the free codes, though, for this one, we still highly recommend supporting this indie author. You can find the book listed on my narrator page, linked below in this video. And by the way, since I'm an affiliate for Audible, if you purchase the book, I just might get a small commission from it. Also, you can help support NFAR by buying us a coffee. I'll include a link, but you'll find the NFAR podcast also available on buymeacoffee.com with our link. buymeacoffee.com/nonfiction audiobook review. You'll also find the video podcast on YouTube and the audio podcast available everywhere. Once you listen, please take a minute or two and leave an honest rating on Audible if you can. Or email me and you can give me a review right here. That would work. That feedback is the lifeblood of indie authors, along with listening to the book completely and quickly. So thank you for today's featured author, Ryan Reading, sharing his work with the NFAR audience. And don't forget to subscribe to the Nonfiction Audiobook Review podcast so you won't miss our next feature across our favorite genres of faith, business, life, or relationships. And almost everything's a relationship after all, isn't it? Until next time, I'm Coach Gary. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.